Well, we've been chatting all morning about what it's like for a meteorologist to sit next to Eric every morning and have to go back and forth with him. You guys have certainly earned your stripes.
Right. Peyton knows about it. You make me sick. And so does our next guest, Laura Butchel. Laura, how you doing?
As we're all have been saying, I wish we were here under, better terms. And we really ought to think about that, right? That we don't just share these great moments, when something like this happens. But laughing through the tears, I think, is a good way, to put it, especially with him.
We have so many memories of working with Eric, and good and bad, right? We were
Probably
just talking.
Similar memories, yes, if I had to guess.
Every meteorologist I've ever talked to, David Bernard's coming in later, and so many in between. We've all loved Eric, but it has been a relationship. It has been truly a relationship where you are loving each other, but you're fighting each other at the same time.
Yes, and
I love that photo.
He loved, because he knew this got under my skin. He loved to, toss to me and go, "Well, you said it was a 30% rain chance yesterday. That sure didn't happen, did it? What you got for today?" And you would go, and you can't say anything back, right? Because he's kind of right. You're like, "Yeah, I did say it was going to rain, and it didn't." So he just knew how to get you, and it would he knew it would drive me crazy, and I know that's just part of his charm.
That part you said about, well, he was right. Talk to me, factor that into the equation. Talk to me about the growth and your time on this show. 12 years at WWL, 10 years on this show. While he was poking fun at you, he was right. And everybody comes in and they talk about what they learned from him.
Yes.
What did you learn?
So, when I started on the morning show, I was 24 years old, and I look back and I go, I was a baby, right? I was
That's
so
a lot of pressure.
Young.
The whole city relying on you.
A lot of pressure, and in a lot of ways there was imposter syndrome going on, right? Kind of fake it till you make it. And at one point I thought, I have to be very just buttoned up and give you the forecast and just leave it at that. And Eric said, "That's not you. You're funny and you're sarcastic and you tell jokes and you like to, joke around with me. Be that, do that." And I thought, okay, is this going to be okay for me to be this way? I just thought we were supposed to be these storied broadcasters, and I really credit him with letting me be myself and have fun on the morning show with him and with Mike Hoss and with everybody. We really just became kind of a family, and I really credit that, because I feel like otherwise, as they say that, I was listening to Rob Nelson, there he is this morning when he was talking, and he said the worst thing you could be is inauthentic, on TV. People can sniff that out, and if I had just kind of kept myself buttoned up and everything, it wouldn't have been me. So I credit him with that for sure.
I think a lot of us take that away from Eric. I know I certainly did. And Eric used to always tell me a story about, we would do these things on TV, and trust me, they're authentic. These are true things we're doing to each other. He told me, Frank Davis back in the day when he first started wanted to be a little bit, not authentic, but he was buttoned up, I guess, in the very beginning. And so Eric was poking at him, and they get off camera, and he'd say Frank Davis would be so upset and be like, "Why are you doing that to me?" And Eric's like, "Listen, it's part of who we are as friends.
It
works so well on TV. Just do it." And then obviously that became a thing, and then it's happened with so many other people, and it just made a joy to watch Eric and all of his partners through the years.
I've been gone for several years, but even Mike alluded to this. Mike, I watched every interview with everybody just because I love to go down memory lane. And Mike was saying, after television, we still are friends. We're still a family. We've been through something together. And so Eric and I texted all the time, and I was giving him a hard time back when Francine was coming. Y'all were working so hard, and I literally texted him and I said, "What, this storm's not big enough for you? Like, it needs to be a category 3, 4, 5 to come on, the station." And he texted back something snarky in return, and then he said, in reality, I'm not doing well. I'm not feeling well. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew that, so. Yeah, it was even in his final texts and chats that we had together, he was still Eric, and I treasure that, really.
He texted me during Francine, and he said, "I'm going to need you to stop doing such a good job without me there. It's making me look bad." But you're right. I mean, he had a way of giving you comfort when we were trying to comfort him.
Yes. Yes. And you know, we would always laugh and say, you know, Eric's going to be the last one to turn out the light, you know, when
That's
all of
what I
us go. I
said.
mean, he survived so many of us, you know, going through, and I think that's just a testament to him that he makes everyone feel like they're the special co-anchor with him, you know, and you look back and you go, oh my gosh, from Andre to Sally
There's
to,
so
you know,
many.
I mean,
So many.
so many people that he worked with, right? But you all felt like you were the special one working with them. And so as aggravating as he was at times, and as much, you know, we would fight. Oh, there were times in the commercial breaks, I wish there were times that y'all could have heard us yelling across the studio at each other.
About
I mean,
what?
it would be, he would say something, I would say, that's not right, that stat's not right. And he would go, yes it is, I'm looking it up. And I go, no, that's not what that is, you said that wrong. And you know, because both of us are so stubborn, we're actually a lot alike. And so we would just go back and forth, and they, you know, we would get the countdown like, okay, 10 seconds till back on air, and we're like, oh yeah, with it, you know. And I mean, it was like that routinely, you know. And then we'd come back on TV and we'd be just as polite and as nice as you could
right.
As you could be.
But he'd still be looking up that stat. So
Yeah,
he
and
could
he
prove
was
that you
right
were
most of
wrong.
the time, which would make you even more
You know what
mad.
would make
you know?
it worse? He wouldn't let it go.
No.
No.
He's gonna remind you all day. And, hey,
A month later, he'd be like, "Remember that time?" You know.
Yes, you were right, Eric.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The one I remember so much is that at one time I said, for all intensive purposes, and he went, it's intense in purpose. And I
Oh,
went,
he loved to do
What?
that with me too.
no, it's not. And he said, yes, honey, it is.
Yeah.
It is, darling. And you know, I'm like, and oh man, just for him to be right, you know, and I will never forget that. Whenever I say that phrase again, that is an Eric Paulsen phrase. He corrected me. He was right, and it just got me.
But
good,
now you know and you learned.
I know.
Thank you so much for
Thank y'all for letting me come
sharing.
on and talk, and it's you know,
It's
therapeutic.
healing.
It's good to reminisce.
We love
so.
hearing
It's
about him.
been
and
helping
having
us
him.
too.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
It has.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah.